Crystal Wade here with Let's Wade In. So glad you could join us today for the grand finale of the costly gifts for your special generation. This final costly gift may not sound like a lot, but it is a lot. And let me give you some background. In the 1880s, and we've talked about this a little bit before, women were not allowed by society's rules to wear a dress that was above their ankles. And if they did, they were labeled by people in the society around them as a bad or wicked woman. Well, let me tell you something. When you're working on the farm, women may often need to wear jeans. My grandmother actually wore coveralls, which is like a jumpsuit or overalls, to work in the dairy. And so it's not just being a wicked woman is the length of your skirt. It was hot in the South, and some women just wanted a shorter skirt because it was hot. And so if they chose to wear, other than a skirt, other than this length, they were considered wicked and they were treated as an outsider and an outcast by society. And men, if they were sensitive, if they were more artistic, which they have the right to be because the Father is the one that puts those gifts within us. Men and women, boys and girls. Remember, we talked about that the Father has given us both genders, a mind, will, and emotions. So the women have the ability to think thoughts because the Father gave it to them. And the men have the ability to have emotions because the Father gave it to them. So we both have both of those things, even though we're different in our looks and our personality and our biology. And so the men, if they were sensitive, if they were more artistic, they would often be shunned or outcast. Well, he's just a no-gooder. He just no count. He just doesn't provide for his family. He's just not working on the farm and providing for his family. He just wants to pursue art, or he just wants to do music. And they were considered as outcasts and treated in those ways that many times they had to leave the town, or a lot of the men turned to addictions in order to cover up the pain of not being allowed by society to be who the Father had created them to be. So this was a very difficult place in the expression of gender. Now, your generation has been given a costly gift, and that is freedom of expression in gender. Today, if a girl wants to wear her hair short, it's fine. If a guy wants to wear his hair long, it's fine. You're not going to be considered an outcast. And if a girl wants to wear some shorts, she can. Now, we do need to be aware of being modest. That the Father wants us to do that. But if a girl wants to wear jeans, it's fine. If she wants to wear shorts, it's fine. It doesn't matter if her dress is not down to her ankles. If a guy wants to be in the arts, and if he has musical ability, and if he has artistic ability, it's completely fine. It's not a big deal for society anymore. And so, but many generations, it was a huge deal. And many men and women, boys and girls suffered because they did not have the freedom of expression in their gender as the Father had designed them to be. The Father has designed women, some women he has designed to be great leaders. Like Deborah in the Bible, she was a prophet and she ended up being a military leader. And the Father put those gifts in her. And then we have people like David who have the gift of music and worship and is also a military leader and a king. And so the Father is the one that puts those gifts in us. But society through the years has given a great pushback to the freedom of the expression of gender. That is no longer here. And it is a costly gift that has been given to your special generation. And the reason why these costly gifts have been given to your special generation is because the Father and the fathers and mothers through history have looked forward to this point in time. Do you know that the Father is the one that sent you to earth? He sent you on your birthday to your family at this point in history because He wanted to. He had the best plan for your life would be at this point in history. So these costly gifts have been prepared by the Father. They have been paid for by the life of His Son and the fathers and mothers and even the sons and daughters through history. And they have been given to you at a great sacrifice. And here's the thing. We don't sacrifice for those that we don't love. The reason this sacrifice was done is because the Father loves you. He believes in you, and so do the fathers and mothers through history. Loves you, believes in you, has faith in you, believes that you're worth it. And now that you understand the value behind these costly gifts, you know this is not a plastic ring, okay? This is a beautiful, costly jewel. You can treat it with thankfulness and with respect, and you can take it, these gifts, and you can build it bigger. There are still some costly freedoms that we have not secured. One of those is for freedom, people of all ages, whether they're in the womb or they're elderly. We have not yet secured those freedoms, and those are costly gifts that your generation can fulfill, can bring to the table for the next generations. And so we are really excited about what it's going to look like as you receive these gifts and as your generation receives these gifts. Give thanks and then build it bigger. We at Let's Wade In believe in you too. So remember, go with God and go for the gold.